This is about voters now looking at mid-Bedfordshire and saying, what's the point of the Lib Dems? Do we need a gateway political drug?
You seem really pissed off with the Liberal Democrats.
There's a few things that I've been reflecting on from this. The first I want to be really clear is I have never suggested the Lib Dems shouldn't have stood in this election. Let me just explain how we approached this. When Keir called me and asked me to go to mid-Bedfordshire and just sense check what was going on there and to go up with a team of the Labour staffers to just get a sense, we all went out and just started by listening to residents. We came back, got data for what we were experiencing, and the result was the Tory vote is collapsing. We don't quite know where it's going to go, but we were really certain they were open, very certain they were open for a conversation with Labour. They wanted to explore Labour first. Now, I made a decision in that very, very first week, which we all unanimously agreed with, that if the Tories were to lose, it would be to either Labour or the Lib Dems. So what we will not do is take out the Lib Dems. We won't attack them. We won't be personal. We won't even name them in our literature, our online activity, or anything we allow our activists to say. We went on week after week after week doing exactly the same. In fact, from the start of the campaign at the beginning of June to the polling day last night, we never mentioned the Lib Dems candidate or the Lib Dems at all in any of our online or physical activities. The Lib Dems came in because simply, if they had emerged as the logical party to fight this battle, we would have turned it off in a heartbeat. We're not in the business of wasting Labour Party members' money. I'm not in the business of spending so much time away from the place I love living in. I love living in Hove. I didn't do it because I don't like living in Hove. We did it because that community told us they wanted to explore Labour. And then the Lib Dems came in. They didn't listen. They did start collecting data, presumably, and our data is incredible, probably the most sophisticated of any party these days. They would have been seeing something along the lines of what we were seeing, which was most people were saying Labour, a few people saying Lib Dem. But they immediately launched a viscerally personal attack against our candidate, Alistair Strathern. They started lying about him.
So in answer to my question about whether you were pissed off with the Liberal Democrats, the answer is yes.
It was politically stupid, because that was a community that had experienced the worst of politics. The worst of politics. That's why they'd fled the Tories, not just Nadine Dorries. They'd seen what was going on with the government and it wasn't good enough. It didn't match their standards as a community. So why go piling in with something which matched the negatives that they had experienced with the Tories? Lying, sneering, innuendo, attack. No conversation, just absolute puerile, visceral, unrelenting negativity. And I couldn't understand it, but what I couldn't understand is why they were doing it to us. I can understand on their terms why they do it against the Tories, but even up to the eve of poll yesterday, almost all of their activity was aimed at Labour and not anywhere else. So,
what sort of lies are you talking?
Well, they said that he wasn't living in the constituency for months after he was living in the constituency. So Alistair, our great candidate, was living in Shefford, and every morning he was getting leaflets through his own door telling him he didn't live there. Week after week. So we have to send a legal note to them to say you've got to stop doing this or we'll take action. So of course they stop it. At least they still use innuendo and sneering. Labour's London candidate and shipped in from London but now living here. But at least it's honest. At least it's truthful. What they did how the Lib Dems acted in mid-Bedfordshire was dumb politics. And I don't think this country needs any more dumb politics. I think we've had enough of it. And I'm starting to wonder what the hell the purpose of the Lib Dems are now. Because look, take them on their own terms. They came in at the start of this and said, this is a Lib Dem patch. Only the Lib Dems can win here. Labour can't win here. It's rural. Labour can't win here. They've never won here before. They didn't even win it in 1997. This is the sort of place that Lib Dems win. And they got a headline out of it because the media went along with this. We always knew because the data was distinctly telling us it was a Labour-Tory battle. So we ignored it. But they went on doing that and then right to the very end. So now I ask myself, what's the purpose? They've done this. They've built up the expectations that only they can do this. They have now blown their reason for being.
Well, since recording that interview with Peter Kyle, we have gone back to the Liberal Democrats to put to them what he said to us. And we have a statement from the Liberal Democrats, and let me read it to you without any varnish on it at all. They did not take legal action. We did not tell any lies. Peter, go and have a long hot bath, an early night, and then hopefully you can enjoy your result.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.